What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports, back again with another one. Undisputed will be on the line this Saturday night in Las Vegas, Nevada, aka Sin City. Undisputed at 168 pounds, Saul Canelo Alvarez will defend his titles versus unified middleweight champion Gennady Golovkin, aka Triple G. This will be the third installment of a historic matchup featuring two Hall of Fame fighters. A lot of people think this fight is going to end in dramatic fashion. Think it's only one way that's going to go, and that's by KO. A lot of people saying Canelo Alvarez is going to destroy, dominate, dismantle Triple G, who I call Old Man River, as he's not the same fighter he was 5 years ago. And in his last fight versus Murata, he showed a lot of wear and tear. He was able to get the win, but in my opinion, he did not look like the same fighter 5 years ago. The punches that Murata was able to land on him seemed to have an effect on him. Now, he did not look hurt, not one time in that fight. He did not get dropped in that fight. He was never in any trouble, but the punches that Murata was able to land on him, he landed a lot of clean, effective punches on Triple G in that fight. Triple G has been known to have an iron chin, and that was able to get him through that fight. But he is not the same fighter. The pressure that he brings is not the same pressure. Now, his power is still the same, but his defense, which I think he kind of got away with that early on in his career, could be a downfall Saturday night versus Canelo Alvarez, who's a very strong puncher. Knocked out a light heavyweight in Sergey Kovalev in his debut at 175. He dropped Austin Trout, a guy that's also known at that time to have a good chin. So this guy is a guy that's a very, very good puncher. Very, very good puncher. He stopped Callum Smith, but Callum Smith is a guy that was overrated, but nonetheless, he stopped him. He stopped Yildirim, another overrated guy. This is going to be a much stiffer test than those two guys, but a guy that's not the same fighter, in my opinion, that he was 5 years ago. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. I'm going to break this fight down. I think this fight actually boils down to what Triple G has left in the gas tank. He don't have to be the fight he was 5 years ago due to the fact that he knows Canelo Alvarez very well. This is the third time him fighting him. They have shared the ring for 24 rounds. So that's going to help him out as far as experience. Experience kind of can make up for what you then lost over the years in the fight game. You look at Muhammad Ali. He was not the same fight he was in 1974 than he was in 1964. But he was able to get just as big as win in 1974 that he got in 1964. He defeated Sonny Liston in 1964. That was probably the best version of himself. And then the less version of himself defeated George Foreman in 1974 because he had the experience and he still had the same heart. He still had that same ticker inside of him. He still had the same want to. And I believe Triple G has the same want to. But the problem with that is, does he have enough punch output to defeat Canelo Alvarez? Because what bothers Canelo Alvarez is activity. Because Canelo Alvarez wants to fight at a certain pace. Bivol, his last opponent, did not allow him to do that. Triple G, a person that does not throw it nearly as many punches per round as a Dimitri Bivol, will allow Canelo Alvarez to fight at his pace. Now, Triple G can control the fight with the jab. He must control the fight with the jab, but he must not fight exclusively off the back foot like he did in the second fight. He fought too much off the back foot. He did a lot of good things off the back foot, but the judges clearly wasn't used to seeing that style of fighting from Triple G, and they held that against him as he lost a very controversial decision to Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez must go to the body. He must throw power shots. Throw him on the arm, do the same thing he did to Callum Smith. He broke his elbow bone, didn't he? What they call that? The elbow tendon, whatever it was. He broke that and basically broke down Callum Smith. Callum Smith was in survival mode. Callum Smith can say that he made it 12 rounds with Canelo Alvarez, but that was a non-competitive fight. That was a fight between a world-class fighter versus a UK domestic level fighter. Triple G must back up Canelo. If Triple G is fighting off the back foot in this fight exclusively, the same thing gonna happen to him that happened to him in the second fight. He ain't gonna get the decision, and this time he possibly could get stopped because Canelo Alvarez is in a seek and destroy mindset. Now, one thing Triple G does, he does a very good job of punching with his opponent. He has a great jab, and he has great hooks. Not those looping hooks like a Keith one-time Thurman. He throws those short hooks, very compact hooks that he throws. And he throws them not only to the body, but to the head. And he'll be looking to get in the exchanges with Canelo Alvarez and land those hook shots. Now, he must control Canelo Alvarez with the jab. He's going to have to up his punch output. I know him and his team has watched a lot of film of Dimitri Bivol fight with Canelo Alvarez. That's not his style of fighting per se, but one thing that he has in common with Bivol is the jab, and he must use the jab. Double up, triple up on the jab, and look to set up the right hand, go to the body, try to get Canelo Alvarez into exchanges, and that's where he can land his hooks, right hooks and left hooks, and those are very strong, compact hooks. He's a very good pressure fighter, Triple G, and he comes with smart pressure. He must back up Canelo, get Canelo to get on the ropes, back Canelo up to the ropes. Canelo has great upper body movement, so he don't mind going to the ropes and letting his opponents fire off, and he kind of makes them miss with his upper body movement, rolls a lot of those punches and looks to counter. But when he does that, Triple G must go to the body. Now, Triple G in the first fight, which maybe cost him the fight in a lot of people's eyes, he did not go to the body when he had Canelo Alvarez on the ropes. He was worried about the uppercut. Canelo Alvarez, along with Anthony Joshua, has the best uppercut in boxing. So that kind of nullifies the body punching that Triple G is going to be looking to do in this third fight. But he's going to have to throw caution to the wind. He's going to have to trust his iron chin and still go to the body at the risk of getting caught with those uppercuts. He wasn't willing to do that to a large extent in the first fight. He must be willing to do that in this third fight. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. Now, Canelo Alvarez is a guy that's one of the best clean, effective punchers in boxing. When he throws punches, it's like a different sound when he land punches. You notice when he land punches compared to other fighters, when they land punches, it's like a different sound. It's almost like the TV network that's showing this fight then turn up the bass. You know, turn up the volume and turn up the bass in this fight, because it's like a different sound. He is a very strong puncher. And that tends to sway the judges when they hear them sounds from ringside. They're like, God damn, this guy's landing some ferocious shots. He's landing some clean, effective shots. And he tends to get the benefit of doubts in a lot of close competitive rounds due to those punches that he landed and the different sound of the punches that he's landing. So we will see what happens, and we will see what transpires. I think of people saying that this is going to be definitely going to be a knockout. I hear Eddie Hearn saying that this fight is not going 12 rounds. He's basically saying no way in hell this fight goes 12 rounds. Somebody definitely getting knocked out. People like to compare this to Manny Pacquiao versus Juan Manuel Marquez, the fourth fight, when you had 3 controversial fights leading up to the fourth fight, and the fourth fight ending in dramatic fashion as Marquez knocked out Manny Pacquiao, put him to sleep like he had given him some NyQuil. A lot of people expecting the same result in this fight. I don't think so, because Manny Pacquiao had been knocked out before, early in his career. Marquez had been dropped multiple times before that fight, so you could see going into that fight that, hey, man, somebody gonna get knocked out in this fight. There's no way it's going to the judges. You can see that going into that fourth fight. But this fight, you got Triple G, who has never been down. Hey, I've never seen him hurt. You have Canelo Alvarez, who has never been down, and I have never seen him hurt. Now, when I first seen him fight on US TV, he fought Miguel Cotto's brother. He got hurt in that fight, and he was holding on for dear life in that fight. He was able to survive that, and he was able to win a decision over Cotto. I believe he won the decision. He might have stopped him late, but he was able to win that fight in dominating fashion after that time he got hurt in that fight. At that point when he got hurt in that fight, after that point, he took over that fight, and he won that fight convincingly. Now, ever since then, I have never seen him in that situation where he was hurt like that. And like I said, he's never been down, and he's never been knocked out. So for people to just assume that this fight's going to end in a KO, I'm not so sure. I think the fight's going to a decision. I think Canelo Alvarez will get the decision. I think it's going to be a close competitive fight. I think you might have it somewhere around 7 rounds to 5 for Canelo Alvarez, or maybe 8 rounds to 4 for Canelo Alvarez. I see him landing his punches. I see him backing up Triple G, but I see Triple G giving him problems. I see Triple G with the jab and with the 1-2 giving him problems like he did in the second and first fight. So we will see what happens and we will see what transpires. But if Triple G does want to throw caution to the wind, because I don't see any scenario where he gets a decision. His punch output is not enough. It's going to be a lot of close competitive rounds, but as we know, when that's the case, those rounds and that decision is going to go to Canelo Alvarez. With that being said, Triple G must throw caution to the wind. He must be willing to take a chance of getting caught with that uppercut, but he must back up Canelo Alvarez and go to the body and break down Canelo Alvarez and try to take him out in the championship rounds. That's his best chance to win this fight. But if it does go to the judges' scorecard like I anticipate it does, I like Canelo Alvarez by decision, somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 rounds to 4 to 7 rounds to 5. Let me just say 7 rounds to 5 for Canelo Alvarez wins a decision over Triple G to retain his WBA, WBC, IBF, and WBO titles. Let me know your thoughts and who you like in this fight. If you think it's going to be a KO, which I don't think it is going to be a KO, you have 2 guys that have great chins. But if you think this fight ends in KO, give me the round in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Follow me on Facebook, Gerard.Briscoe.3551. Like, share, and subscribe to JB Sports. The man, the myth, the legend. And I holla.